Hey, 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 happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy midweek. Girl, I want to know your name. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Okay, we're going to be talking today about communication. Anybody want to guess what my undergrad degree is in? 3, 2, 1. Communications. Yes, I was one of those college students who had no clue what I wanted to do when I went to college. And so I figured that whatever I ended up doing, it would require speaking and writing. So I majored in communications. And one of the first things that we study in communication is that communication is a two-way process. You have a sender and then you have a receiver. You have lots of static, noise, interference, whatever in between. And then there's like this feedback loop. So midweek motivation, giving you information to help you get unstuck. We have to talk about communication, right? So getting unstuck is not all about landing the dream job. It's fantastic. That's fabulous. But also being able to communicate and also being a good listener. Did you know that most people, when they're having a conversation, want to feel like that they have been heard, right? Have you ever been in a situation where you're having a conversation and after that conversation, you feel like you were not heard at all? Chat, put a yes in the chat if you've ever been in that situation before. I know I have. So I want to offer you some tips today, 4 easy tips on communicating you as the listener, so that when people have a conversation with you, they walk away feeling inspired, motivated, heard, hopeful. How can that happen if you are not being a good listener? So the first tip I have to offer is very simple, and you've probably heard it before, but it's to free yourself of distractions. Have you ever been talking to someone like in person, and while you're talking to them, they're like, yeah, I hear you, but like they're on the phone. Yeah, wait, yeah, for real? Okay. How do you feel? Do you feel a little rushed? Do you feel like maybe they're catching half of the conversation, but not all of it? It's not really a good feeling. So the first step in effective listening is to free yourself of the distractions, put the screens away. Also, if it's a conversation that's being on the phone and you're not right in front of the person, just make sure that you're in a space where you're not distracted. And if you are with the person, make eye contact. Something as simple as making eye contact, that's a connection, letting someone know that, okay, I'm here and I hear you. All right, so the second tip is when someone is sharing, resist the urge to interject and jump in and be like, oh, that happened to me too. Oh, let me tell you about a time, because what just happened? You stopped their story and then you went on and started talking about something else that happened to you. Boo-boo, it ain't about you at this moment, okay? It's about the person who's telling the story or the person who's wanting to share. And I get it, especially with the women, because in school I studied genderlect, and women and men sometimes communicate differently. And sometimes with women, we get vulnerable and we offer an experience or a story to share with somebody else in hopes of making them feel like you are not alone. I've been there. But there's a time and place for everything. So when someone is sharing, let them get it out. Again, resist the urge to jump in and share your experience or start giving advice. Let them speak. Let them get it out. And then the third thing is ask questions. Ask questions for clarification, because what that does is that shows that you are, number one, you are listening to what the person is saying. And it shows that you genuinely care. So you can ask questions to get more details or information, or you can even restate something that they said just to make sure that you understand it. And then lastly, offer encouragement. Again, not going back to when you were in that situation, but offer encouragement to the person. Now, that probably sounds like a whole lot, and it is if that's not how you listen. but I'm all about improvement, and you can get there. Communication is a skill, just like with any skill. If you're an athlete with basketball, tennis, or whatever, you have to practice, and communication is a skill. It's no different. You have to practice it. And if you've never done this before, if you think back to your most recent conversation and you can't identify some of these listening points, that's okay. You know better and you do better, right? But I would encourage you to really take this to heart, because oftentimes when people leave a conversation, myself included, I would either feel motivated, inspired, heard, warm, fuzzy, hopeful, or I'll just feel like that was a lot and I don't think I want to do that again. My goal, my hope, personally and also in my profession, is that when people leave my presence, they feel like they have been heard, and they also feel inspired and motivated in their lives. And I'll just be honest with you, when I'm talking to people, if I'm in a conversation and there's a lot of just interjections and a whole bunch of people, you know, communication, I said, is like a two-way process. But if you have this process going on at the same time, a bunch of people talking at one time and me having to hurry up and try to get something out and talk really fast because I don't want to be interrupted because I know somebody's going to get an interject. No. I would just gladly sit back and just decide to share. When people share, it is a privilege when people share with you. So when somebody's telling a story or sharing an experience, honor that space, because you just never know. You just never know what that means to a person. And likewise, when you're on the other end of that, if you're the one who's sharing, think about it. Do you really want to talk to somebody and they are fully just engaged in a million other things? Probably not. So again, some midweek motivation, helping you get unstuck. And guess what? This works in relationships too. So some of you who might be having some difficulties in relationships, you might want to check how that communication is going and flowing. Make sure you're listening. When somebody's trying to share something, even if you don't agree with it, resist the urge to jump in. Let them say what they have to say. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions for clarification. All right? So enjoy the rest of your work week, and I will see you again next week. In the meantime, can we talk for a minute? Girl,